Here is the overview of spriteKit in 4 minutes or less. Sprite game. It's of the spriteKit technology, Swift. Let's hit next. If you've never used it before, it gives you a lot of cool stuff just to start out. Once this loads up, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. You've got this game scene. This is where all the action happens, and you'll notice there are 3 major functions that you want to look at. You have a did move to view function. You have a touches began function. So this happens when you actually start interacting with the screen, and then you have an update, which helps you update your frames and make sure you have nice and smooth pixel perfect animations. So there's a lot of stuff going on already. You see there's a label created called Xcode node where we have some text on there. They're setting the text, adding that. So this add child will basically like add a new node or view, if you want to call it that, to your game scene. When touches begin, so when I tap now, you'll see we're looping through and creating a new sprite node every time I tap. So this spriteKit node is very important. This is what you'll use to create your characters. Xcode gives you a default image in here called spaceship, and you'll see I'm using that if my computer doesn't freeze up in the game scene. So I'm setting this spaceship image to my spriteKit node, which is essentially my character. I'm sizing that here with the X and Y scale, so it's half the size of the original dimensions. The position is going to be wherever I click, so it's wherever I touch. And we actually put an action onto this. This SK action is really cool. You can do anything with this SK action, put it into animation. This is actually rotating it, and it's running it forever and adding every time I click a new child sprite. So every time I click, I'm going to create a new one of these, and you'll see it when I run here. So I'm going to run it just so you guys can see this thing working. There's some other tutorials that'll go more in depth, but just to show you a start out of how spriteKit works, I would really try to look through this code and syntax and try to understand what's going on before you move forward. Maybe do a little research on spriteKit. And if you follow some of the other videos, you'll be able to go a little bit more in depth with some of the topics. So let's see if this simulator is actually going to run here. Looks like it is. So hello world, you'll see that label popped up here. If I click now, my spaceship's popping up. Okay, that's what all of this is right here. So every time I click, a new one's popping up and spinning around because I told it to in the touches began function. So even with the basic framework, you can just mess with the nodes and just see how they come into play. So that is just a quick overview of spriteKit. More to come.